to review and analyze this Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 4, in which...
I was going to say, episode's called The Siege.
Go ahead, kick us off.
Well, I know this is probably going to rub some people the wrong way, but this opening scene, to me, just is what grinds my gears. Well, what's going on with the direction of the show is, it's like they have to have a make Baby Yoda, have him do something cute quota per episode.
I kind of like that.
And see, that's the thing. Like, everybody's like, oh, he's so cute, oh, he's so sweet or whatever. But, we're starting off in, like I said, Mando and Yoda, they're working on some repairs, and I've heard other reviewers talk about this. Kind of reminds you of Guardians of the Galaxy with Rocket telling Baby Groot, not to do something or what to do. So, like I said, they're doing their work right now, and Mando's realizing that the ship is beyond beyond his expertise. So they're gonna have to make a stop and see some old friends and get some repairs done. So, that's where we're headed.
And you already know where that's going to take him back to. Well, we didn't know at first. I thought he was going to go back and see one of my favorite people, but I guess he had got too far away by that time. What's her name? The one that just beat him in... the name slips my mind. I will plug that in, though. But yeah, that's what... Because, I would much rather get my ship fixed by some droids instead of some people, but that's just me thinking about it like that. But I guess they seem to do a pretty good job in the episode. But basically Mando goes back to where the Mandalorian all started, and the name of the town, do you remember?
It starts with an N. I totally forgot. I had it in my note. I thought I forgot to write my
Navarro?
notes. Yeah, Navarro. Yeah,
They go back to Navarro and meet up with Grief Karga and Cara Dune, who is looking like she been holding it down in the city and been eating good. I just had to throw that in there because she's a little bit thicker than season 1. But yeah, so they go grace their presence there. And something I didn't notice when I first watched it, but P pointed it out to me. When Karga requests to get the Razor Crest fixed, one of the guys actually throws a little shady look in there, and you guys can probably see that right here in this clip right here.
And not also something to mention is, Cara is actually like she's taken over as more of the law of the town. She is the marshal of the town. So if you remember what the town was like in season 1, it was pretty, there was, it was not
desolate.
It wasn't the place to be, and now it's kind of a bustling town, and like I said, she's the law, and Greek Cargo, whatever, he is more the administrator. He's the he's the administrator of the town. So she handles the law and he handles the administration. So they're making a good team, and it's good to see. And like I said, Mando, comes in, and our team is reunited briefly for this episode, and things are going great.
All right, and a lot of and one thing I will have to say, if I was Mando, I would kind of be a little bit upset because this dude went from literally doing stuff to make bread, cashing in the chips. He getting the best bounties. He went from that into now every time he meet a motherfucker, he gotta do a favor.
Yeah.
First 3 episodes, he is doing a favor for somebody to get something done. And this might be a reoccurring theme throughout this season, but I don't know. But right now, come on, man, though. We got to get my boy back. Somebody pay my man.
Well, yeah, like I said, these first few episodes, it's kind of like Mando side missions.
Yeah.
He's doing side missions or whatever. Whereas season 1, you could tell there was an overarching, like, okay, we're working to this. We're working to this, but not to get too far ahead. I think this episode is starting to set us on our path. Excuse me, where we're going for season 2. Because right now, these first few episodes, just like I say, he's been doing these side missions, and you're like,
they action packed.
Yeah, you're like, but where are we going with this?
Yeah, exactly. That's what every episode is like a side mission, like basically what I was getting at with that, which he kind of touched on.
Yeah, and so like I said, with season 1, you were getting. You're getting development with him, whereas now he's just doing these side. There's no development.
The story's not progressing.
Like more about like when in season 1 when he was doing things, we were also learning things about him as we went on, like through flashback or
his old crew, like in episode 6 where they try to lock him in the.
Right now, like I said, it's turning into the Baby Yoda show. My 3-year-old daughter knows this show as Baby Yoda. That's what she, and like I said, from the lips, like the old saying goes, from the lips of babes. Sometimes kids speak the truth. Because they're able to, they're pure in mind, and what she's saying is so correct. Everyone I talk to, Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda. That's all you can hear them talk about. And so.
Don't hate on the child. Don't hate the child.
There you go. There he is. Baby Yoda.
They hating on you out here, man. How you feel about that? You're not paying too much mind. Alright. See, P, I got your back. P over here, he wanna see more Mandalorian, less you. I wanna see a little bit more of both, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me.
Well, just chill out a little bit on him, because the show is called The Mandalorian. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go ahead and stop that one. I think that's a good, nice little clip.
Okay, so at this point,
landed.
It's landed, and we're getting our touch-ups done to it, and like I had mentioned earlier, if I haven't. I caught it right away when I first initially watched the episode that one of the repairmen was definitely not on the team. He definitely was working for the other team, because he gave that look, and camera lingered on him for the camera lingered on him for quite
always giving out them Easter eggs, little clues.
But we moved on. We moved on from there, and they're seeing more of the town. And actually, if you look closely in the pavilion of the town, there is a tribute to IG-11. And if you remember from season 1, the sacrifice IG-11 did to essentially save
all of them,
everyone. So it's good to see they didn't forget about that. So Cara and Grief, they talked to Bando, basically telling them like, hey, we got some business to discuss. Leave the kid here. And what we see is there's an actual school going on. So once again, another Baby Yoda, let's Baby Yoda be cute moment. They put him in school, and there's a kid sitting next to him what appears to be eating on some macaroons. And Baby Yoda, who's always hungry. He's always hungry. I'm like, man, though, do you feed this thing?
And he don't got manners either.
So, he tries to come in there and debo him, like, give me some. And the young boy, respect on his name. He's like, no, I ain't giving you nothing. And so, Baby Yoda, he went ahead and had to use that force power on him and just straight gaffled him. Took it from him. He's smiling in class. He turned to look. His macaroons is gone. Baby Yoda with crumbs all over his face, eating his cookies, and it's just messed up. Once again, like I said, I'm gonna start keeping a tally of all this ridiculousness with him.
Hey, I gotta go ahead and get my 2 cents in on that too. Baby Yoda, y'all gotta stop with promoting Baby Yoda as a klepto. Like, it's getting ridiculous. Like, it's like you almost gotta tell Baby Yoda, don't do this to get him to do something. Like, now And let me go back. At the beginning of the episode, Mando was trying to tell him, put the red one in. I guarantee you, if Mando would have told him the reverse, he would have got it right. Because if you tell Baby Yoda, don't eat those eggs, what'd he do? He and then when they took off to go to the home planet, he just snuck one into his jacket. He just popped it out and popped it in his mouth. I said, ain't this about a bitch? Baby Yoda, you a klepto. You gotta stop that, man. And it's for food only. I mean, so I can't be too mad at you, but yeah, he gotta quit that.
So we moved from the classroom and we're met by an old friend from season 1. If you remember the first bounty, Mando, he bagged him up, put him in the carbonite,
bagged him,
and it's our friend Mithril. And please forgive me if I'm not saying that correctly. I'm not an expert on the names, but you know where I'm going with this. And so they're talking, and basically they explain to Mando that there is an Imperial installment or base that is still active, and there are weapons there. And Mando initially is like, yo, you trying to get those weapons? And they're like, no, we want to destroy the installment that will make the whole entire planet clear of the Empire. We want to set this up as a trade station. So Mando's kind of like, okay, cool.
Makes sense.
And then, I'm thinking he's probably like, if I do this for them, maybe we'll be even or something, or maybe they can do something for me down the line. At least that's what my thinking would be. But so they pile up, they get in the speeder, and they head on down to the installment. And of course, Mithril, he's a little unsure. He kind of does, he's like, look, man, I don't want anything to do with this. And he's just unsure about himself, about this. And he's already working up a huge ass debt that he owes.
Hold up, Pete. How big is that debt?
It's
probably like 300-400 years.
Yeah. So
what?
I'm working this debt off already, and now you got me put my life on the line, not even possibly giving me a chance to work it off. So with him helping them, of course, it's offered that, hey, we can reduce some of that time off of there. So it sort of entices him. So let's just say they like, there's a phrase we use at work. You've been voluntold. Basically, he's voluntold to get in there and get your ass out here and help us get this work done.
No volunteer, just voluntold.
Yeah, so he gets up out of there, and they had this out the installment. So if anything you want to add on to that,
Okay, yeah. And I would think I gotta say about my boy Myth. He out here though, like, you know what I'm saying. They come to him to get the door open, like, you know what I'm saying. That he valuable for something. He was over there crunching numbers back in town. So
and I was gonna say, and the little tool he has kind of looks like the unit R2 has. That R2
that plugs into everything.
That's basically a Swiss Army knife that works on everything.
But yeah, no, nothing else really to say about my guy. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this. He kind of remind me of like my Yondu, the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like, man, like, I don't know if it's just a look or whatever, but he gonna be important in the end somehow, because I don't think this is like the only reason they brought him back, because I don't know, he's just a good character to me. He's funny, brings a little bit of that comedic relief in. And
there's also a slight Easter egg that goes back to the old Star Wars, the
Legends.
Not Legends, but the Return of the Jedi, about with the carbonite, when he talks about, I still can't see.
The eye thing.
Yeah, and so if you've seen like Return of the Jedi, when Han Solo was thawed out, he was blind, he couldn't see. So it's kind of a callback.
Kept the continuity of the whole.
Yeah, it's kind of a callback to what carbonite does to you.
That was pretty cool.
So we're inside the installment, and right away Mando knows. You guys told me this thing wasn't that. It was practically empty, and he gets in right away, and he's having to take out. As you can see, there's stormtroopers all throughout the base. So right away, this isn't what it seems to be. Yeah. There's more to this base. There's more going on than just a weapons installment. So
because it was supposed to be a skeleton crew, and I mean it is pretty like bare bones. But if you got like a big top secret like anything going on, you wouldn't want a lot of people knowing about it just because leaked information, and you would want like just not too many people to know about it because you don't want like people to duplicate your technology or anything like that. And that kind of brings us to the major kind of reveal at the end of the episode, which is the cloning is really being ramped up at this point in time, because if a lot of you guys don't remember, in canon you can't, well, there's never been like a clone force sensitive user, and this is kind of like basically like clearing up all those clerical errors when it comes to like that, because they're just basically incorporating that if you use the blood of a highly powerful force user, well, this is speculation, but it makes sense, then you could probably make a clone be able to be a force user once you clone. And that's kind of like my take on going into the last part of this, and we're going to go ahead and dive into that right here. He just go ahead and jetpacks onto the top platform and throws a couple stormtroopers off, gets them on up in there, you know what I'm saying? But getting inside, they're met with like a lot more resistance than they were anticipating, because as we come to later find out at the end of the episode in the big reveal, this is not just some ordinary base, and it was just not set up there for no unordinary reason. I think the reason that the base was set up there in the first place is because if you go back to season 1, the dude that was trying to get the child was harbored on that planet in that city, which basically coincides with, if you get the child back to that planet, you would want to have a base there set up already, like Kaminoa with the Kaminians, to actually clone or start the cloning process with the child. So that, it kind of like made a lot of sense to me once they had that reveal. But basically it's just a firefight within the base, and my guys, they get jammed up a little bit by thinking that the crew is a skeleton crew, but it's really kind of a little bit more ramped up than that, and because it's ran by somebody who gets revealed in the end. And with that part being said, it kind of takes us to the end where we get into this special room, and I'm gonna go ahead and let P take that away.
Well, let's just be realistic. I mean, they really didn't have nothing to worry about. They was in a gunfight with stormtroopers, and they can't hit the broadside of a barn. But they were giving off the sense of, I saw what they were doing, but and actually, if you ask me, I thought Mithral was going to be killed. Like, I thought he was going to get shot and killed during all that, when they were having the laser fights. I thought for some reason I thought, like, because he was getting involved. He was. Now,
he popped a couple people. I see he popped it. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, he pulled that. He pulled that act right out and was out there and started just dumping on cats. But I thought, like, since he killed a couple people, he's, like, yeah, I got, and then he gets smoked. But it turned out, he made it. But what we see is we actually see the clone. We see cloned bodies, and so right away, Mando's like, "Holy shit, I got to get back to the kid." So he jetpacks the hell out of there. Because he's like, right away, because they see a transmission, because there's some, I guess they would be administrators, Imperial officers, when they saw Cara Dune, Mando, and crew, they immediately like destroy everything. And
yeah.
But luckily, they were able to take them out before, and they were able to pull up a hologram of an image from believe it's Dr. Persian.
Yeah.
From season 1. So, and he's talking to Moff Gideon, and at first they're like, "Oh, it's an old transmission." Mythro goes, "No, this is from 3 days ago." So this lets him know that, holy shit, he's still alive. If I have to go. So he's like, I gotta get to the kid. So he's out of there, and so we'd known, being the viewer, that Grandma Tarkin was alive, but I'm sorry, golly, I'm sorry.
I'm thinking of Tarkin.
I'm thinking of Tarkin, but Gideon he's alive. He's alive. So now they're aware of it, and like we kind of discussed earlier, where we talked about Mando on these side missions, not knowing, okay, season 1, we knew there was a overarching, like, we're trying to get to this point. Now, with the reveal of him being alive, I think now we're going to start with episodes from now until the end. We're going to know now where we're headed. Like, because what we find out is it was confirmed. Well, just basically to wrap everything up at the installation, at the military installation, they get out, they commandeer one of the vehicles.
That's supposed to be like classic.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like legend classic or just like canon classic, but yeah.
They grab it, they get the hell out of there, they're chased by some X-Wings. There's the action scene, pretty good action scene. They get away. Just when you think it's over for them, the Razor Crest comes, and Mando takes out the 3. Everything, we're like, yeah, we're good. Everybody's feeling good. Then we find out, because the episode, before the episode ends, I'm getting ahead of myself. So once we get back home, of course, Baby Yoda is safe. Him and Mando are good to go, and they're headed on where they need to go to find Ahsoka Tano. But we end the episode with Cara Dune, essentially. She's speaking to the Republic pilot, and he knows something else is going. Like, he basically tells her, look, it be in your best interest to work with us. We need your help and these outer rims to help get rid of the remnants of the old empire. And he's telling her, there's something else going on here. I don't know what it is, but it is. And they kind of make a connection because he's from Alderaan, and so is she. And if you know Star Wars lore, that's the home planet of Princess Leia, and it was destroyed in the first...
Off the map.
Yeah, it was destroyed in A New Hope, by the Death Star. The first Death Star it's
off the map.
Yeah, it was destroyed, gone. And so you see they make a connection there, and he's basically telling her, like, hey, we need you. You should think about coming back. And he leaves the pendant with her. And you kind of look, and she kind of gives the look that she's actually
thinking about
it. She's entertaining it, that, maybe I should go back. I should help him and do more. So, so that ends. We're, as far as being on Navarro, that's the end of that. Then we meet. It cuts to a female Imperial officer, and she's got information from her contact, which we find out is the individual who was one of the repairmen at the beginning of the episode that repaired the ship, the Razor Crest, and she's talking to Moff Gideon, telling him that my asset has placed a tracker on the Razor Crest. We know where they're going now. So now, Moff Gideon, he's just hanging in the cut. Like, we know, we're going, and I think...
Got him tagged up.
And based on what the actor who played Moff Gideon,
Giancarlo
Esposito, said that he's going to be getting into some...
lightsaber fights.
Yeah, and we know where we're going to see, and... so, and possibly that's going to be, the next episode could be a confrontation between him and Ahsoka Tano.
Nah,
because Ahsoka Tano is gonna want to get that damn the dark saber, and then I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Alright, well, yeah, that's like
all roads are converging.
It is. It definitely is. But I will say this though. I don't see that happening like so fast because like if you really look at it like.
Well, I don't necessarily mean Ahsoka Tano, but I mean
who else could we have out
well,
there?
Well, not
Ahsoka
Tano, yeah. Because he says he gets into multiple. It isn't just one.
So okay, you
he
might
did
have,
say
might have
he said
there.
he got.
So it might be like one of those things. But see, my whole thing is this: like you cannot have a scene with a vet Ahsoka Tano. Hear me right now. She is the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker going against a non-force using Moff Gideon. It would not be a fight.
But we don't know because those soldiers we saw, are they genetically enhanced? He may be a genetically enhanced individual. We don't know because, like you said, the guy he's saying that he's gotten these duels. So obviously he's been trained, and he may be enhanced to be able to last against Ahsoka Tano. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Nah.
Because how is he able to have multiple? I'm telling you, he's probably going to fight her or face her at least twice in this season. There may be an initial confrontation, and then it somehow it gets broken up, and then they have a final duel at the end of the season, at which I just, like I said, I believe I saw in an interview where he said he got into multiple duels with individuals.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up that episode 4 review.
Well, before we wrap up, I just want to say, look, I am not an expert. I'm just a guy who watches these shows. So, like, if there's anything I get wrong, please, I won't take it personal. Actually, I actually. And I'm pretty sure Pre is the same way. We welcome constructive criticism. So
even if it fucking is telling us we suck, like just go ahead and give us some type of response. If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up, all that. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna with the end of this, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into some episode 5 theories, because that's where the end of this episode is obviously taking everybody in. I think I got a couple good theories on the next episode that I'm going to go ahead and throw on out here. So